How weird. Despite being closer to the sun, why is it colder here?
Because Tianchi Lake is surrounded by snowy mountains.
The days here appear as lengthy as those beneath Mount Tianshi. Otherwise, one might mistake the prolonged summer in this place for a harsh winter.
If it were indeed winter, the Tianchi Lake would be frozen, the Grandeur River obstructed, and the Hans covered in ice. In that case, ascending Mount Tianchi would be impossible.
Shh. Keep your voice down. If your fellow clanspeople hear this, they might goad you into challenging me again during the winter.
Don't fret. No one from my clan would dare defy me. Speaking of which, why would a mere historian have the authority to tell you what to do?
A historian? Did I forget something again?
You'll have to figure it out on your own. I met a historian on my way here, and he employed me to urge you to think of a name.
Oh, looks like I've forgotten everything about it. What is the name about?
He said it was kind of a national title. Your language can be quite troublesome.
Ah, I remember now. It was indeed an oversight on my part.
I'm surprised when he told me he simply couldn't start recording anything without that name. What exactly is that name about?
It's about everything. It's about you, me, your clan, my clan, the greater clan formed by our future generations, and the heavens, the earth, the mountains, the rivers, everything that traverses the seasons and is witnessed by the sun and the moon. In short, it's a name that encompasses everything we're seeing now.
Wow, that's quite a serious name. So, have you come up with it yet?
Yes, it shall be Xia, meaning summer. May this vast land forever flourish in greenery.
Bureau of Husbandry and Agriculture. This is Singh from the Bureau of Oversight and Integrity. I'm currently conducting my daily inspections at Hydrological Observatory A38 in the main of the Grandeur River. I'll be sending the hydrological and meteorological data. Please analyze the data and deliver the report to the municipal government.
Understood. Please provide an adequate number of samples for analysis and comparison.
Sure. I'll personally oversee the operation.
I heard that once this quarter's inspections are completed, you'll be taking a whole month off, Secretary Ching?
Yeah, the work here is finally about to end. So I plan to take some time off and enjoy the Harvest Festival in September as a civilian.
Thank you for your hard work. By the way, here's a little gift for you.
What's this?
I snatched this yellow iris by the riverside. It's been blooming for more than a week without showing any signs of wilting, and its fragrance is intense. Hopefully, it will chase away some of your fatigue.
Did you just say you picked this flower by the river?
Yeah, why? What's up?
There are too many water striders out there.
Is something wrong?
I'll have to go to the riverside and see what's happening there. The river is just up ahead. Go there and take a look. I hope I was mistaken.
Isn't that Secretary Jing? Saw you from afar and wondered if it was you. Are you here for an inspection today?
Yeah? What are you doing here?
Just fishing, but I haven't caught anything all morning. It's weird. The fish aren't biting lately.
By the way, there are so many ospreys here, so naturally there should be a lot of fish around.
Yeah, maybe they're the ones scaring away my fish. And there are so many insects too, but you know what? Those mosquitoes don't even seem to bite people anymore. Been sitting here all morning, and not a single mosquito bite on my leg. Sorry for the rambling. Don't forget about the calligraphy assembly at the square tonight. My old man is looking forward to meeting you there.
I'll see if I have time for that. I should head to the riverbank and take a closer look. Huh? What's with all these insects? Crushing horses and riders! Feels like my blade just hit an iron block. Used too much force. I can't control my strength when my mind is in turmoil. But seriously, why are there so many insects here? And what's with those clustered birds? Let's go over and take a look. Why is this osprey so aggressive? What's happening to these ospreys? Their feathers are blue, and their claws and beak are sharp and hard. Are they infected with some kind of contagious disease? I must hurry back to Weisha and report the unusual situation here. The subtle changes in the flower's appearance, the unusual clustering behavior, and those mutant insects and ospreys. That's not my imagination. No doubt this is caused by an anomaly. Again, my precious vacation is going down the drain. Instead, I'm looking at overtime. In light of the current situation, the chief executive has personally gone to Jiangyan Pavilion to report to his superiors. During his absence, the Bureau of Oversight and Integrity will be responsible for city management. Therefore, I'll be presiding over this meeting, and I ask for your cooperation as always. First of all, I'd like to ask for a briefing on the progress of our deployment since our last meeting. Bureau of Husbandry and Agriculture, what's the current status of the crops?
To be frank, it's getting worse. According to our calculations, all types of crops should have started to mature long ago. However, the centralized agricultural system detects that wheat, sorghum, rice, and other ration crops remain stagnant in their growth phase, without any signs of sprouting ears. Oilseed crops such as soybeans, peanuts, and flax haven't yet produced seeds for oil extraction. Fruit trees such as apples, pears, and peaches experience successful pollination during the flowering period, but they haven't progressed beyond the end of that phase. All crops have stopped developing fruits, as if the growth process has come to a standstill. In addition, the drones managed by the centralized agricultural system have observed new symptoms on the crops.
What symptoms?
I've brought some photos here. Please take a look at them. As you can see, many crops are exhibiting an unusual greenish color on their surface. This color is not attributable to natural chlorophyll, but resembles a metallic rather than a biological coloration. On affected plants, this greenish tint behaves akin to a rust disease, spreading towards the unaffected parts of the plant.
Could this be a new plant pathogen?
That was our initial suspicion. However, it's not only the crops, but also some animals residing in the fields that are displaying these symptoms. While we have dealt with zoonotic diseases before, this is the first time we have encountered a plant-animal disease. The Bureau of Husbandry and Agriculture currently lacks the means to identify cross-species diseases. So we collected samples and sent them to the Bureau of Health and Welfare for virus testing, but we haven't received any results yet.
Bureau of Health and Welfare. Have you discovered anything yet?
Well, just as Director Feng said, diseases affecting both plants and animals are exceptionally rare, and we need more time.
So, no results yet.
There will be results. We just need a little bit more time.
No progress in virus testing. Thank you for the report. Next question. Bureau of Treasury and Trade. How much do you predict our agricultural production will drop this year?
This issue is quite complicated, Secretary Ting. Since we are not directly involved in agricultural production, we are not aware of the details.
Please stay on topic.
Well, we can only give economic forecasts after the Bureau of Husbandry and Agriculture provides reports on crop maturity and acreage. However, they haven't provided such reports this year.
Now is not the time to pass the buck. I'm not blaming you. I need to understand the gravity of the situation facing Songlin City. I believe I've made myself clear. Please provide a concise answer.
Based on the information shared by Director Feng, we will have to make estimations based on the worst-case scenario. This year, our agricultural production will be only 3% to 7% of prior year's levels.
I understand. Songlin City plays a crucial role in Xian's agricultural production. And if we don't have a harvest, it will create a crisis for all of Xian. Director Feng, could you please provide an update on our grain reserves?
Our current reserves are enough to feed the people of Xian for 9 months. Together with the reserves in the rest of the country, we can sustain ourselves for 2 years without a harvest.
Bureau of Roads and Travel, what's the status of our transportation capacity?
Mobilization is not an overnight process. It involves multiple parties and numerous challenges.
What specific challenges are you talking about? Bring them up and we'll work together to address them.
First, there is a serious shortage of professional drivers.
Then why don't you communicate with the Bureau of Employment and Social Support? Any other problems?
We lack the funds to purchase enough vehicles for transportation.
That falls under the responsibility of the Bureau of Treasury and Trade. Go ask for additional funds from them.
But the annual budget is set at the beginning of every year. Even if I make a request, it'll likely be rejected, right?
So, in other words, you haven't even asked the Bureau of Treasury and Trade for additional funds.
No, that's not the case. According to regulations, the budget is approved at the beginning of each year, and the allocation.
Allow me to remind you, Director. I work in the Bureau of Oversight and Integrity, and I know the rules and regulations better than you do. Bureau of Treasury and Trade, has the Bureau of Roads and Travel ever informed you about the lack of funds?
No.
No, never. Why didn't you mention it, Director?
We will submit a formal application after the meeting.
Are there any other difficulties?
We haven't encountered such a large-scale demand for transportation capacity in many years. It requires coordination of water, air, road, and rail transportation. And we're still trying to figure out how to manage this.
Don't you have an emergency plan in place?
You know, the situation is too rare for us to have anticipated.
You may not have an emergency plan for total crop failure, but you should have a plan for a potential war, right? Or you don't have a plan for that either.
But we've been living in peace for decades.
During our last meeting, I emphasized that we must prepare for the worst. So, what exactly have you prepared for this meeting? Nothing at all? Let me ask you some questions. How many trucks do we have? How many freight trains? And how many cargo planes and ships? What is the capacity of each transportation method? How many of these vehicles can be deployed within 24 hours, within 7 days, and within a month? How many of these vehicles are equipped with refrigeration and insulation devices for transporting grain? For the vehicles without these capabilities, how long would it take to install them? Do we have enough drivers for all these vehicles? Do we have a plan in place for scheduling and providing financial subsidies for the drivers?
Well, we have limited manpower and capabilities. I apologize for our shortcomings.
My patience is wearing thin. The Bureau of Roads and Travel has shown laziness, cowardice, short-sightedness, and incompetence. Your laziness has delayed progress. Your cowardice has hindered collaboration with other departments. Your short-sightedness has prevented proper planning. And your incompetence gave you the audacity to deceive me. Do you think you can just get away with, "We have limited manpower and capabilities"? Your excuse holds no weight. The Bureau of Oversight and Integrity will submit an official report to the government, demanding accountability from the Bureau of Roads and Travel for impeding grain transportation. Bureau of Health and Welfare, your progress has been disappointingly slow. And Bureau of Treasury and Trade, you failed to fulfill your duties. Consider this a warning.
Director Feng, please say something to calm Secretary Ting down. We are being scolded all because of you.
Secretary Singh, our department bears the primary responsibility. We are to blame for the production issues. After all, other departments are assisting us in addressing the issue, and the purpose of this meeting is to find a solution as soon as possible. Let's all take a moment to calm down, for what they said holds truth. This dire situation is unprecedented and requires cooperation across departments and regions. We may even need to take guidance from the Well-Being Office in the future. You have any suggestions for the current situation?
Indeed. Now is not the time to blame anyone. I apologize. I got a bit carried away. Everything has a cause, and there are no such things as mysterious catastrophes. Therefore, I request all departments to assist in investigating the causes behind the unproductive crops. I need reports on meteorological and hydrological monitoring, analysis of soil and bedrock composition, data on the density and size of various ecological populations, as well as information on crop growth and the results of genetic sequencing. The cause must be somewhere within this data. Meanwhile, we must be prepared to deliver reserve grain to the other regions and be ready to take immediate action upon receiving orders from the Well-Being Office. Director Feng, based on the minimum requirements to ensure rations, how much reserve grain will we need to deliver once our total crop failure is confirmed?
I can't provide an exact figure at the moment, but based on my experience, a minimum of 40 million tons for the fall and winter seasons will be required.
Then let's use that number. 40 million tons will be the minimum required. Remember, numbers do not negotiate or compromise. So I hope everyone will do their best. No, I expect everyone to do their best.